So for the end of the section, I want to tell you about a TED Talk I saw on YouTube, and you will also get the link. So if you want to see the full TED Talk, it's about a quarter of an hour. It's by Tim Urban, who calls himself a procrastinator, and it's all about procrastination. And what he tells is what happens in the brains of a procrastinator as he is one. And so he gives insight in the brains, and he says a person that doesn't procrastinate, it looks like that inside the brains. So this person has a rational decision maker, he calls it. And so when there is anything ahead that you have to do, any deadlines and so on, then this rational decision maker knows what to do and plans it all ahead. But he says brains of procrastinators look different. In their brains it looks like that. They have an instant gratification monkey, and this monkey often takes over, and the decision maker does no longer steer the whole thing. He's not making any decisions anymore. And so what happens is they are here both. And what the monkey says fun. And the monkey says play. So the monkey just wants to have fun. And of course the decision maker wants to make decisions, and the decision maker says, hey guys, we got a deadline here. We should really start working. We really should keep going. We should have a good plan on how we can structure the whole thing, that we get everything finished in time. So, and sometimes, most of the times, depends on the person, they find common sense. So they can work together. There is a little bit that overlaps, as you can see. But if the monkey takes over, and that's what happens with procrastinators very often, then fun and play becomes the major thing that people do. And what he calls it, he also calls it the dark playground. Because he says, why is it dark? Because the person, the brain owner, is actually playing, but it has a price, of course, because it's not really a free play, because the person always knows, actually, I should be doing something. So it's not feeling too well about not doing anything, but it's playing anyhow. And he's really telling fun stories on how you can be on the dark playground, that you could like Google a lot on Wikipedia and look at Google Maps, all that fun stuff. Or you could, of course, just sit at the couch or watch TV or do your social media stuff and so on. Yeah? So anything that helps so that you do not have to do the things that you really actually have to do. And so this is how life is how the brain is of a typical procrastinator. And Tim Urban says the only thing that scares the monkey is the panic monster. This is the panic monster. And the panic monster shows up when it's shortly before deadline. And then the panic monster comes, and suddenly, finally, the monkey shuts up. And the decision maker can take over and can make sure that everything is handed in time, or that there is enough in the brains of the decision of the brain owner for the next exam or whatever has to be done. And Tim Urban says it's always really interesting in how little of time he can finally do things and meet deadlines, and that it took him weeks and he couldn't even write the cover paper, and then suddenly it takes him 1, 2, 3 days or nights and he can write whole theses. Yeah, and yeah, so far it's kind of fun, and he actually says he's a blogger, and he started blogging on that, and he was writing these fun articles, and people were writing him back, and they obviously understood that he was talking about them. But when they were writing back, they were often not writing back in a fun way. They really didn't like the way they were procrastinating, and they really wanted to have help. So why is it, if a procrastinator is most of the time having fun and play, why do some people get upset about their procrastination habits? And Tim Urban says he found out that there are two different kinds of procrastination. One procrastination is the one where deadlines are involved. And it can be fun to make it shortly before the deadline and just have fun before that. But, and that's a big but often we do not have deadlines. And the important things in our lives do not have deadlines. And this is exactly where we meet it's Stephen Covey's rock story again. The important things are like staying in good health condition, having great relationships, or also quitting relationships that do not work. And of course, all the things that you want to accomplish in your life. If you're an artist, the artwork that you want to do. If you're a writer, books that you want to write. All those things, when you decide that you want to do them, when you decide to go for them, they usually do not have a deadline. And so, if you procrastinate those things, they might never get done. And what he shows is this chart, and I never saw that before, and I think it's quite thrilling. He says this is a lifetime calendar. It's a calendar of a 90-year-old, and each of these little circles is 1 week in the life of a 90-year-old. And if you consider that you already are on Earth for some time, like for example me, I could already cross about half of it out. Then just think of how much time you still have, and it doesn't seem that much. And this is the time you have for all the things that you want to accomplish. And if you're procrastinating it from 1 week to another, this is where your life goes. So really think about it again. What do you want to do in your life? What do you want to have accomplished?